Hello, everybody. My name is Paul Cummings, CEO and founder of Whole Cyberhuman Initiative. Today, I am meeting with a holiday graduate, Mr. Piotr Wlazel. He's one of our Polska family members. So definitely a time zone difference. The same with that we have a Gregor. He comes from a very traditional background, starting with web development, software engineering, some full stack development, and now leading into more of like administrative roles. So needless to say, a very technical person trying to continue to grow upwards in this technical world. Without further ado, Peter, tell us about your journey.
Okay, I guess that started, I was a builder before, and then I wanted to change career. So I went to a bootcamp, and then I got a job in web development. And after that, I guess it went into full IT. I want to do IT, yeah, because it's fun. And the technologies just keep on growing. You need to be up to date to either compete or just do the things you can do with the technology. So yeah, I guess now I'm a system admin / DevOps. So it's fun.
Well, let's take it back. So, I mean, I knew you had some other traditional work role before you decided to jump into the technical field. And let's talk about that builder and the fact that you went into full stack development and really started doing programming. When you started going through just the core of the course, because obviously the full stack course that's a real boot camp. You're learning from the ground. Here's what this does. Here's what this does. Here, let's make a container and make this thing talk. It's not like one of these. Hey, here's a very robust cert that recommends X amount of years, but we're going to give you this training in 5 days.
No, it took 9 months.
So as you're going through there, was it anything starting to click as a builder? Like, man, I didn't know that I knew the amount of project management or product management that was involved with programming.
I guess something that stuck out to me was the logical part of the programming, because it's problem solving at its core. So I like that it could help me do my job. What I mean is, it could help me do the task that I was asked for. So let's say I needed to do this and this and this. Not everything was clear at first, but after some research, like every programmer, every IT guy needs to do, because it's part of the gig, it turned out it wasn't that hard. Just some research can be done. It was like a fun journey. I wasn't best at first, but with time, it's okay though, I guess.
It's funny you mentioned that, right? Because me, I've been avoiding programming for 21 years. I mean, I went through the courses, I did 3 college courses. And you're right. I mean, if you can apply yourself and you actually want to do it, it is fairly easy. It's just for me, I didn't find any affinity towards it.
Okay.
I could write something and then, I'd be like, hey, professor, homework assignment's done. And be looking at it like, oh my God, this is ugly, but it works. It works. Not very clean, but it does work. So the software side, again, we talked about it before. I know you hear it all over LinkedIn about the adding sec to DevSecOps. And, I'm going to follow up a question here shortly, but I think it's funny how we originally met. around the time
you
that I was
remember?
getting out, I got my job. I ended up getting so good of a job that, I donated a couple of really good courses, and we met through Simply Cyber because you'd recently won a voucher. When did you first decide to really jump into Jerry's content over at Simply Cyber?
Like everyone who wants to learn or grow, I was looking for resources. I didn't have much money, so I was looking for the free ones. I found the ones there. So something like that went on, and from one place to another, I met you.
So really around this time that you started going through your software course is when you started realizing, man, I need to start Googling, get some resources out there. So I'm glad that you fell on Jerry's Simply Cyber. I'm glad that you participate pretty religiously in his daily cyber podcasts. It's always fun seeing you in there. So you got the voucher. And the funny thing was, it was also like I said, it was the day we met, and that's when around the same time that I was standing up the whole Cyberhuman initiative. It's how did you find balance between? Correct me if I'm wrong. It was the INE premium package that you won, so the entire PMPT, or was it EJPNT?
EJPT, yeah.
EJPT. So you had the entire course of that, and then you signed up for us, which was 100 hours of immersive training. What did you do to compartmentalize having something already enrolled and coming into ours and succeed to this?
Well, like the INE and the EJPT exam was like 1 year, not long, but I had 1 year to do my research, learning, etc. And then I could take the exam. So I wasn't really, it wasn't really a crazy pace on my side, but most of the resources teach or add up to the knowledge I already have. So it was like building blocks, and well, I could say I built a castle in the sense that the knowledge was adding up. So I knew this. I wanted to learn something new or go for the exam to be sure I would pass. I guess at some point it did really help me to grow as a person, not only as knowledge, but because I met not only you, but so many other cyber and IT people who are encouraging me and showing like the other ropes, how to go through the jungle of IT and HR managers. So I guess something like that, that I was trying, not that I had nothing else to do, but I focused my time to be sure to not only show on a resume that I, let's say, they think that I know, but I know in myself that I know the material. It was like that.
So when obviously I knew that you were already enrolled into that, and you came to us when we first started, and we joked because Jeff Fields, I just did his recording not too long ago, and he was at ground level too. I mean, y'all were within the first 5 people that we had that signed up for our program. And yeah, it's 100 hours, but again, we design it around the human element. Stuff happens. In your case, you know, you had this nice package that you just won that you want to take your time on, because I mean, while it's an entry-level pen test cert, it is pretty rough. And, you know, some people would rush into it, and I don't think they would benefit like you did, really absorbing the training. But it was funny though, because obviously Wix had its issues for a long time. So when I sent out like emails and stuff like that saying, hey, we were migrating from Google Forms to Microsoft Forms, there was a whole, I think, 28 days where none of that was getting out. Finally got everything up and running. I was like, okay, where are you at on this? And then you're like, oh, I've already done all that. It's like, well, I don't see it. And that's when I realized, oh crap, well, still in the Google form. Got everything switched over, and I was like, holy crap, you're already in the 65 percentile. You know, keep it up. And I think that's when you, around when you started your sysadmin job, or was that before? I can't remember.
Before, it was before,
Before. But but I mean, you stay through it. I mean, you're consistent, you show drive, you show that commitment, and you want to apply yourself. And you're not afraid to say, hey, you know what? I'll go get my hands dirty, because at the end of the day, when it comes to that interview, I want to know that when they ask me a question, I'm not just gonna, it's this, you know, that with that soft question mark at the end. You want to know it, which is awesome. So first part of our program, it was really about the soul searching and looking at the 52 traditional roles by NICE. You know, you got in there obviously software engineering, because I mean I think that was something that it was something easy, because maybe, you know, obviously roles are written differently across the pond. And then when you look at NICE, it doesn't say SOC analyst or anything like that. You actually had to look at the, you know, the real phonetic name, cyber defender and stuff. But, you know, vulnerability threat management, vulnerability assessments, obviously the dev side. And now that you've completed the program, have you narrowed those down to really further what you want to do? I mean, feel free to even use, you know, however they name it on your side of the world.
I'm gonna answer it like that. I think I was doing it like twice, the soul searching, and I changed the roles more to suit what I really want to do. Not really the roles because they sound cool, because they have like a cool job in a sense that everyone wants it, like a tester or something like that. It was more of what I really want to do. And on the second one, it was like a better experience for me, because I think I only put like 3 roles, and those were like a system admin, like a vulnerability researcher, and I think a DBA. And those are really cool jobs if you think about it. They they are IT to the core, so you work with computers. But it showed me that I should focus not only on programming, because it's like a skill. Now, people do it like a job, but I think of it as a skill that I can use in my role. So I went from soul searching to learning the skills I want to learn, that I need to learn to get the job. I guess it was like that.
And it panned off. I mean, you're here, you got your sysadmin gig, what's your end game goal? What's the role that you want to aspire to get into the most?
Kind of changes when I learn how the organization that I work or not, maybe others will do the same, fills the role, because the role in, let's say, the role of sysadmin in one organization doesn't mean it's the same role as sysadmin in the other. The tasks are similar, but the responsibilities or what they really want from you doesn't have to be the same. I like the place where I work because I have time and resources to learn other skills that I didn't have before I joined the organization. So in a sense, it's kind of fun to work where I work right now.
So there's no doubt that some of the training that you did with us, it did come with its challenges and its roadblocks. But of the core curriculum, were there any of the training vendors that you liked the most?
Yeah, the immersive labs and what's the range labs?
Range Force?
Also, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, because
Actually,
those really just dive you right into it and say, here's a scenario, find it.
No. They showed me how to use the tools, and some of them I'm using at the job right now. So it's like it was a real life experience that I didn't know I would need one day, or at least not until I would be a security analyst or something like that.
I love it. I love it. And that's really what it's all about. I mean, obviously there's some color spectrum of the, of the InfoSec color wheel that we threw at you that, like it was kind of to expose you to the multiple areas, right? So, some red teaming, some blue teaming, some threat hunting, some purple teaming. Threw you out some ICS SCADA courses, and I'm pretty sure now you see, I don't know how I forecasted it was going to be such a huge thing, but now obviously it is. Everybody's trying to find SCADA or OT cyber professionals. So a little bit of forecasting. I think a part of it was, I'm on the ICS community of practice with INL, Idaho National Labs. And I think listening to them, the amount of roles that were coming out, I was like, okay, I want all my candidates to get this training. What were some of the more humbling trainings that you did? Whether it was, dissecting a CVE, process injection implant, setting up a seam tool, whatever. Which are the ones that really kind of like, okay, I'm gonna have to circle back and research some more.
Yeah. Immersive labs. I think I found a roadblock that I knew just the resources they gave wasn't enough. Had to do a lot of research to understand it on a deeper level that I wasn't really thinking about before. Kind of stopped me. But after some time, with clear head, I sat on it and let's say it moved, and it was like a amazing feeling for me. Let's say after a roadblock, when you don't know how to overcome it, it's like it's like a frustration from inside when you really know want to be the one to overcome it, but I took a break to, let's say, I wanted to look at it with a fresh pair of eyes. So after that, some of the old books I moved on and just did the labs without any hiccups. So like that, it helped me to grow, because if you don't put some effort, you won't grow. Like a person or the IT guy or the knowledge, anything. You need to put yourself up there and try to be a better yourself, better you.
I like
I
that.
guess.
Be a better you. I like that. Then you did a
It's
lot
the
of
definition of
inside
growth.
Discord, you know, the Discord, I think, was another place where you really started to shine and grow, because you started asking those questions, you know, hey, has anybody else been to this yet? Because I'm probably about to snap this keyboard over my knee. You know, and I know it's something simple because it's right there. I know I got it. It's just I don't know how they want it answered. You know, I think that's,
but you know, you don't really ask the obvious questions, because no one will answer that. They will show you like a resource where you should read, learn, watch, or something like that to understand it. I mean, in a sense, it's better to have the fishing rod than a fish, right? In the long run.
I like that. Yeah, better to have the fishing rod. So let's talk about your next path. Obviously, you're within your organization. You're already using these tools and this new knowledge, working with the other team. Is that your game, or not your game? Is that your plan as far as, you know, you want to shift in with the same organization and say, hey, I want to go to the security side now because I've been working hand in hand and I know this stuff.
I mean, the future is uncertain, but there is a one road map, I guess, where I want to join the other division in my organization, the cyber one. But I would for sure want to stay and work with computers. I'm not a people person. I guess it's easier to work with a PC.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I like that. You know, it's some people, you know, I mean, I thrive. I love being a busybody. I mean, it gives you a little bit sense of purpose when you keep yourself gainfully employed, whether it's, you know, hey, this project obviously met a roadblock, or I'm at an impasse. I got to wait for somebody else on another team to finish this before I can work and move on. What am I going to do with my time? Oh, well, you know what? I got some training to knock out. Might as well learn, you know, what the next big thing is going to be coming out. Do you think, in your eyes, so, I mean, obviously, again, y'all are doing education far different over on your side of the world. You know, you went into, obviously, you know, a real boot camp, not a fly-by-night snake oil, get multiple certs boot camp. You went into a full immersive 9-month program. For those that may have went a different route, would they have benefited from us from whole cyber side, as far as like, hey, you know, before you go spend money on this course, this place shows you the different roles, and you might find out that, you know, maybe that course or that certification isn't the most well put place for my money right now.
It's a good question though, because if I knew there was a whole cyber human initiative before the bootcamp, would it benefit me more or less to make it to the place where I am right now, right? I would say yes and no, because as a software developer, the web, I learned different things, and after that, doing the whole cyberhuman initiative, I guess it added a lot more skill and understanding, because you can use software, IT, PC, etc. It doesn't mean you use it not correctly, but safe, to the point that you understand why you wouldn't be safe using it a bad way or something like, without the full knowledge of the spectrum, I would say.
Okay. So ours would, for your situation, right? Ours ended up being a force multiplier for you. You know, you knew how to do X, Y, Z, and now, hey, now I know the tools that are testing my stuff. I know the tools that are attacking my stuff, and I'm learning how to defend what I'm writing. So you're, out of everybody, you're one of the ones that actually already had a predefined path. You know, outside of most candidates that we have that are joining, that, you know, they may have went to a boot camp already. I mean, heck, you've seen it. We had 7 people from the same boot camp all say the same thing. Where was this program before I started this? Because I just went and spent this amount of dollar and I had nowhere close to this hands-on. You're right, there is a time and place. I mean, yours happen to be, you know what, I'm ready to upskill some. I know where I'm at right now. What can I do to benefit myself? Sounds like your company is definitely doing very well for you, and I love it that, you know, you found a place that has a good culture.
Yes, yes.
You know, and I'm glad that you're willing to, you know, stick around there and want to do stuff with them further. It's only going to get more interesting, as you know. I mean, every day you wake up, something in the news for cyber. And who knows, maybe that might be that paradigm shift to say, hey, I need to either jump ship because you're not going to put me into a role with you doing security, but I'm ready to, I'm ready to go defend people because it's getting real.
Yeah, there's attacks and data breaches every day, right?
Yeah. You know, it's a sad thing, but I mean, it could be worse, I guess.
Yeah, but most of them, okay, I'm gonna stop you there. Most of them attacks and breaches are because of the organization. It's their fault, because I guess they don't put enough pressure on the people to be security aware of what's going to happen if they, let's say, click the wrong link or something like that.
Yeah, you nailed it on there. Culture.
Yeah, culture.
Right. And, you know, cybersecurity as a culture is one of those things that we're fighting continuously. Sadly, more often than none, we see it's another user clicks on another thing, or, you know what, a new hire just the program wasn't set up for them to do their initial computer awareness training, and they had their account, got a bogus invoice. It said that it was computer stuff. They sent it to the IT staff, and the IT staff click on it. Yeah, it's wild how some of these things are still continuously evolving. I mean, hell, if you look back, you know, years ago, it was some king or some prince was your uncle and he's in Nigeria or something like that. And you have all this money available to you. You just need your bank account information and all that good fun stuff. But they've over the years, they've got evolved, now it's turned into banking where they're taking that bank image, whether it's the logo for the company and they're putting it on a letterhead, and it's starting to get pretty tricky,
Yeah.
But something that, is always going to be a valid resource to check is that email header.
They're making like almost like a real advertising campaigns, malicious ones, right? Yeah. There's this one in Poland that they sent you an email, maybe not email, but an email with note that you need to pay back like a small amount of money because you didn't pay enough or something like that, and they get you there with the link similar to original. Like no one checks the link, almost no one. The security awareness needs to be improved, but for the normal folks that really who just use the PC, not who use it for software or something like that, because they usually are the victims of the either campaigns or lack of awareness, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's funny because for me, I'm getting because I run me and Nick Perkle kind of do the Active Directory for whole cyber. And you get the email saying, "Oh, you missed a phone call." No, I didn't. I don't have a phone associated with my account. Nice try though. Or hey, this is your IT department and blah 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 blah. Click here. Like, oh, I am the IT department. Do your research.
Yeah. I mean, they try. Not everyone will get the hook, right?
What so I mean, your path has been pretty set, and I love it. I like that you're still floating around the Discord offering help to those that are in the program that came behind you. It's much appreciated. Obviously when we built Whole Cyber, we build it community in mind.
Yeah, that's the best thing about the cyber. It's like a ever-growing community with a lot more people coming in every year.
And you learn too, working as a group with some of these labs, are like, oh, that made it so much easier. Or reaching out to some of your network connections on LinkedIn and say, hey, I'm doing this course. What does it mean by this? Like, because I mean, that's what we do in the community, right? Because you've seen it, the vastness. That was only, when you really look at the resources that we gave you, that was probably not even a third of what is out there. Not even a third, because everything just changes so quickly, so rapidly. But nobody's ever an expert. When somebody says they're the master of their craft, they wake up next morning and somebody surpassed them. And in reality, if you're the master of cybersecurity, like,
I don't think there is the one.
Why haven't you built an AI that works right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, yeah, we got Chat GPT, OpenAI, that's cool. But I'm talking about like AI that's gonna like put us like literally, why are we all still working?
I mean, maybe, but it's still only data. It's like, in a sense, easier to use Google. Because, I mean, with ChatGPT, I would say is, if you're an intelligent person, you know how to ask questions, what to look for, you understand the topic, it will immensely improve your productivity. It's like an amazing tool, but I don't think it should replace a human who is at least a decent intellectually.
So I like how you mentioned that, right? I've been talking about that for quite some time. Me and Joe J. Bear, joking inside Discord, we talk about the advances of AI, and look at the movies. There's so many movies out there about it. There's a lack of that human behavior, that human intelligence that you just can't replicate.
Too many edge cases.
And it's and then as tools get created, I mean, it's going to make users more dumb because they don't know how to do it themselves. They're still relying on technology to do technology. I mean, heck, look at a lot of the new tools that come out for MSPs where it's just click, 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 done. We talk about how, at least in the Discord, we talk about how, hey, you need to start learning how to write your reports. You need to start, doing this. But almost everything now comes with a dashboard where you click a button and it generates a report. So it's taken that, like you said, the human element is just, we need it back. Because at the end of the day, it's going to get to the point where we rely so heavily on tools that it's going to be that one person sitting at a computer that has multiple windows open, having this tool talk to that tool, to that tool, to that tool, just to get a job done. And they're going to get paid far less because it's easier for me to pay someone to push buttons than actually do the work.
I wouldn't agree with that to an extent, but because the IT and the tools that are built evolve with time. They are made to be easier to use and to capture a broader area of the tasks that were usually done manual. I mean, it's better, but like everything, it can't catch everything. There needs to be someone who is at least has some experience enough to find the edge cases that the tool can't. I would say that's how they find the bad guys.
So, as we wrap up, we always, it's been a trend right now. Obviously we're going to ask you, your choice, some swag from our shop, GRC Masterclass by Gerald Ogier, or a voucher for the World of Haiku.
Yeah, already have that because there was a sale not some time ago, so I already have the access to the course. So I guess that's on me.
So which one then? So if you got the discount for Jerry's course, is it the haiku or is it going to be some swag?
I would say swag is cool to have the memory of the course and the experience.
Okay, so I'll send you over to the store in a little bit. Obviously, anything between a polo, coffee cup, coffee tumbler, polo, t-shirt, and we'll get together because obviously there's a little bit different tariffs that we'll have to figure out. But that's no issue. But I'm looking forward to it. For those listening that maybe this is the first time, hearing a testimonial about someone joining the cybersecurity program, what would you have told yourself the day you said, hey, I want to start looking into security?
I would say look for the free resources like whole cyber human initiative, because there are so many free resources, and don't be discouraged when the roadblocks come. It's in every area of your life. So every time you hop over the rock, you're in a better place and you're a better you. So that's, if you want to go to the cyber, you need to learn. And that should be your main focus, to grow and expand your knowledge, because it's a lot of material to get to.